Hello, Bonnie. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good. Thank you so much for allowing me to record this portion of our interview. We have been chatting, for quite some time today about some of the opportunities that I've got. A little bit about your resume, what you've done in the past, what you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your work experience?
Sure. So as we were talking about, a lot of my work experience is very customer um, service oriented. I've been an account manager for many years, both on the sales side as well as just in managing account from all levels, from upper level management down through the individual who does the day-to-day basics. And I think one of my strongest qualities is I'm passionate. Wherever I work, I tend to have a very strong passion. I think one of the things that helps with that is not only enthusiasm, but mostly just honesty, respect. I think there's a lot of things you can achieve, whether it's over a phone or in person, with just being completely honest with individuals and believing in what you're representing. One of the things that, I've been proud of is I still have clients who call me that I've worked with for, over 10 years, 15 years, and they're wondering if I'm in town for a trade show. They'd like to get together because they haven't seen me in a while, or they just call and ask me if I've, been playing tennis lately or whatever the case may be. So I built very strong relationships. That business, most of my friends have all come from the business side. So I'm very, to me, one of my strengths is building long-term relationships, and I enjoy that.
Okay,
Um, obvi-
wonderful.
and then obviously, as we were going through my resume, I have a very strong background in sales. I have, and a lot of that again is relationship building. From a customer service standpoint, I'm the type of individual that I'll start my day with the toughest calls that I have to make, of the people who are concerned about something or having an issue. And, these are big national level accounts that I used to handle for many companies. And I would tackle those right up the top, and then I can move on with my day, and they can, get their concerns resolved if there was one. And, I gotta say, I'm usually, very good at being able to accomplish those things for
I love
people.
I love that. I do that too. I make a to-do list and
Yeah, it's
tackle
big
those hard ones.
because
Yeah.
the more you're gonna push it back, it just ends up you're putting just too much into it versus let's get them on the phone, let's hear them, let's get this resolved, and let's move on. Whether it's
Of course.
myself or a manager, however, let's just get it resolved right away.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
the other thing that I hear from a lot of peers I've worked with is I'm a very big team player. I have fun to a degree that I just think if you're going to be at work, you might as well enjoy your time and the people you work with. And I've always built very good rapport with, people that I work with on same levels, different levels. I've always been that individual that believes in bringing in the manager, whenever the case may be. Let's not lose something. Let's not put our selves before the client or that individual, that consumer. Let's get things wrapped up. So that's kind of who I am. And
Yeah.
as
Always good to ask for help
yeah,
if
to me,
if you need it.
I'm not, 30 years old and I have a lot to prove anymore. It's more about
Hmm.
the other side of what I'm handling. It's the person that I'm helping at the time. So that's
Sure.
always
Providing
been what
that
I've
good
lived by.
experience,
Yeah.
a good
So
customer experience. Now, you did mention the call center. So, you have call center experience as well?
I do. So as I mentioned, I'd been in the direct response business for quite some time on different levels. One of them was a few years back, quite a few years back, I worked for a very big company up in the LA area, Pasadena specific, called Alert Communications. And the department I was in, which I ended up being the manager of over time, but we actually wrote the scripts for the clients we brought in, and we would handle after hours calls. That was when had a lot of people catalog order taking, things of that nature. And I would actually train the call center employees on specific accounts, especially if they were new business for us. Then we'd go over if there's a change in the script, and I would be on the floor quite a bit, helping all the representatives handling those calls. It
Okay,
was a lot of
great.
fun.
I'm sure. Yeah. So Sherry, I'd like to go ahead and end this part of the interview with something fun. What do you like to do for fun? You mentioned it earlier, and
I love
I
play tennis.
okay. And
What I
are you on
mentioned.
a team here? No, that
Well,
was it. The tennis and the pickleball.
yeah, so I live in a master plan community, so I'm learning to play pickleball. It's something totally new to me. A lot of tennis.
Hmm.
Um, I just, for me, it's, like I said, we're at the stage where we're trying to spend more time with our kids as well. They're getting scattered
Okay.
about, but that's always, and so it's a lot of fun. I've got older kids, so I don't have to worry about that anymore, which
Yeah.
is kind of nice. It's like,
Sure, sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I can relate. And then tell me about your computer experience. We didn't chat about that.
Computer experience. Well, I mean, I work in obviously the Office, suite of Office.
Okay.
Excel, I'm not an expert by any means, but I can certainly work from Excel and build sheets. PowerPoint presentations I've had to utilize quite a bit, especially doing sales presentations. A lot of Zoom meetings with clients and individuals within the companies because I've worked remote for several years as well as hybrid. So, and I've always had, multiple screens, but so I've got, technically I can get around a computer pretty well and I can multitask quite well, having multiple tabs open, data tabs while I'm on the phone, things like that. Because a
So
lot of
cool.
what I've done in the last, I would say 7 years on the direct response side is we were always looking at call data, listening to calls. We had to go in and, literally just see, is the call center holding up to what the client's expectations and vice versa? Are we having problems? And so a lot of experience in looking at data and stuff like that and,
Hmm.
working through Excel to sort data and so forth.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this portion of the interview, but don't hang up. We've got a few more things to chat about.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, just a sec.